Welcome, friends. It's Jeff Jensen, the Empowered Entrepreneur, and I just wanted to get with you today and talk a bit about being an entrepreneur, what it all means. This is really step 2 in a 7-part series about becoming an entrepreneur and becoming your own man or woman, if the case may be. So first off, this entrepreneurial spirit. Where does it come from? Where does the drive, where do you get the drive? And in order to overcome some of the obstacles that you're going to end up facing as an empowered entrepreneur out there starting your own business. And I always say that it's passion. It's passion for what you're doing. And so make sure, that as you get going as an entrepreneur, you don't do it the way that most of us do our everyday job. So as you go in and look for a job, you go, well, I can make good money doing that. And therefore, I should be whatever it is, doctor, marketing executive, journalist, because I'm going to make good money there. Instead of taking it from the approach of what do I like to do? And then be passionate about what you like to do. And as an entrepreneur, that will lead you to succeed. So not having that passion could be the difference between success and failure, because down this road of entrepreneurism, it's certainly a road less traveled. It's not an easy journey. Sometimes you're going to get out in the middle of a blizzard and a snowstorm, and if you're not passionate about the industry that you've chosen, about what you want to do to make a difference in the world in that particular sector, if it's not properly thought out, then you're going to find yourself in that snowstorm wanting to turn around and go back. And that could be the difference between success and failure. Okay, so now that you've chosen a sector that you want to go into or an industry, make sure you do your homework, do your research, make sure that the opportunity's there, that there's a niche that you can carve out for yourself and make a good living. And a lot of the time it can't be a Me Too business, so you got to make sure that there's not too much competition in a given area. Really research it. Research your margins. Right now there's industries that you probably don't want to get into because it's so competitive. There's so many people that are out of work that you can't really make any money in it unless you can really differentiate yourself. As far as getting an education on how to do this business, that part can be done through research online, can be done through books, video series, DVDs. There's tons of resources out there as far as growing you as a person to get your mind right so that you can be passionate and you can persevere. But that's a constant, you got to keep pumping the pump in order to do that. Constantly be feeding your mind with good positive information, growing and learning as an entrepreneur. That way you'll be striving to improve and you'll be able to accomplish the things that you need to. The next important thing is having that support out there. So supporting, coaching, and looking at your business and what you're going to need also. So mentors are very important in the role that they play. Successful business people. You may need accountants. You may need doctors, engineers. You may need marketing people. You may need writers that can help you. You may need social media technology experts. And so looking out there and making sure that you surround yourself with a support group of advisors that can give you the right kind of advice so that once again, when you're out there in that snowstorm, you know where to turn to, you know which shoulder to lean on. That's another key to success. The fourth item is the plan. So this is your business plan, your executive summary, your financials. What does this business look like? What does it cost to build it? What does the capitalization take to get this thing done? And are there certain timelines or deadlines that are in there? And how are we going to get to that point? Now, as far as capitalization is concerned, The first thing that most entrepreneurs do is they reach in their checkbook and they write a check. That's how most businesses get started. You put some money in, you take some risk, and you go about capitalizing that company and getting started. If you can't do that, then you've got to look to your friends, your family, and I always say fools. So the 3 F's, so the friends, the family, and the fools. That's the first round of money that you look for, really the angel round in getting your business off the ground beyond you writing your own check. Beyond that, you constantly look to grow. You look to grow with outside capitalization from banks and investors. You can get that through IPOs, through reverse mergers and pipes. You can get it from banks. Sometimes you can get it from debt. But you always got to be thinking about, okay, how am I going to grow this business? What if I do get that order for, 1,000 widgets? How am I going to build them? What's it going to cost me to build them? Make sure that that part's thoroughly thought through. And then the last thing is really, so from there, you need to look at, what if I don't have that money to get this business started? It costs a lot of money to get companies off the ground. With Solar Nation, which is one of our companies, we're now into it north of $3 million, and it's going to be $8 million by the time we get that company properly built, on track, making money with a nice margin. So it's not inexpensive to get in business. So what if you don't have the resources? Well, then you need to look at other options. There's home-based businesses out there that are great businesses. You can get into them typically for under $1,000 or at that $1,000 mark. And those businesses can provide great opportunity and income without all of that big startup cost. And a couple of things you should do when you're looking at a home-based business: make sure that the industry or the sector that you're going into is ripe for growth. Make sure that the company that you join is properly capitalized and it has enough of a track record that you don't go out and fail. A lot of us, including myself, have made the mistakes of putting a lot of people into businesses that aren't on their feet yet. They're not on stable ground. And as a result, you end up, with people that aren't happy with you, and you lose the opportunity to really succeed. So you want to make darn sure that the company's stable, the industry's right, and that the company's not too mature. If you go join a company like Amway, as an example, great company, a lot of people have risen to the top, but it's already a couple of $1 billion in sales. So you want to catch a company that's in that growth mode of going from 5 to 50 million a month. And if you're able to do that, you can really, a rising tide lifts all boats. So you can be a part of a company that's exploding rapidly, and really you want to pick the best company in that industry or sector that you're interested in. There's some great ones in weight loss. There's some great ones in the gifting sector. There's some great ones in fitness. So great ones in skincare. A lot of great opportunities in the home-based sector. So do your research if you choose to go that route, and you can have a great successful business. But once again, don't treat it without a plan. Manage yourselves, manage your time, and do the things that are most important in order for you to succeed in that new business as an entrepreneur. So until next time, this is Jeff Jensen, the Empowered Entrepreneur. Stay tuned. You can follow my blog, the captions that follow. Join me on YouTube and Twitter as well. Look forward to catching up with you next time for the third part in this series of Calling All Entrepreneurs. Have a great day.